This is it! This is Conway Hall! Bit wet.
We'd better get inside. There's a storm coming.
Well, the storms get worse every year.
Yes, they certainly do. It might help clear the smog, though.
Oh no, it's the same as it was in Eliza's day.
What, the Industrial Revolution and all that, yes?
Yeah, all the dirty air, the smog belching out everywhere.
And Eliza's slowly suffocating from it.
Come inside, otherwise we'll be washed away.
Coming!
Come on.
A wizard is he, to see, and balls arise in the air. Now they are gone, and the truth comes on a gloomy night, and ladies fair. They pass, and a host of spirits grey, a host of spirits grey, are floating onward, floating onward, floating onward away, away. His sunbeams are lightning, the black clouds brightening, grand is the world in the hills to see. His winds are the thunder, scattering asunder the world he has made, but what cares he? In a chariot of storm he rolls along, a chariot of storm. The whirlwind shout, the whirlwind shout, the whirlwind shout, a triumphant sound. Blow, March, blow, your time is now. Soon you must hush your noisy breath. Soon we shall listen while the raindrops glisten to the airs that will murmur of spring's bright wreath. Oh, not the buds, oh, not the buds that dare to peep, lest they prolong the sweet life weep. Oh, not the buds that dare to peep, lest they prolong a sweet life should weep.
How sad that this child of spring, whose music blossomed in such bright colours, should weep from the damage of so many of life's storms.
So this is where they have their Sunday concerts.
Yep. This is it. Just one of Eliza's legacies. Oh dear.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But you know, her music's never been played here.
No, not really.
Well, not yet. anyway.
I assume lots of music has been played here by many of her more well-known contemporaries.
Oh well, yes. I mean, Schubert and Mendelssohn spring to mind.
I see what you did there. Spring. It is April. Actually, spring songs would be really lovely here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, didn't he meet Eliza once and said that she was tinged with genius?
Who? Sorry, who?
Mendelssohn.
Oh well, yes, but no, sorry, it wasn't him. I was meaning it was his sister Fanny. After all, Queen Victoria loved her songs, even if she did think that.
Well, if we're talking about Fanny, I know one of her songs, her spring song, Frühlingslied.
Oh, okay.
This is a great one. This is about after such a long winter that we look for blue skies and green forests and flowers waving in the sunshine waiting to be picked and jubilant songs and nightingales and larks.
Yes, it sounds great, Sam.
Who wrote the words? Who
The
wrote the
words
words?
were written by Wilhelm, her husband, and you know, actually, I think the song really is about his love for her. He talks of life and love and passion, and then he sees das Mädchen, the maiden, wander off for a bit of forest bathing.
Yes, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Forest bathing. I didn't know they did that in Victorian times. Just those nightingales.
Blaue, blaue Luft, grüne, grüne Wald. Es zitten die Blumen im Sonnenschein und winken und möchten gebrochen sein. Mädchen, wohin? In den Wald. Nachtigallklang, Lechengesang und all das Sehnen in treuer Brust, lass sich in Leben und Lieb und Lust, lass sich in Leben und Lieb und Lust. Strahlt, jubelt dahin im Gesang. Grüne Wald und Nachtigallklang.
Wow, that's fantastic. We're definitely going to have that one. Brilliant, Sam. Yeah. Gosh, Fanny Mendelssohn Henson.
I know.
Wouldn't she love?
I've got a Schubert song as well.
Yes,
I've got a
Yeah,
Schubert song
which
as
one?
well by
Which
Franz
one?
Schubert.
Uh-huh.
It's a fantastic song.
Which one?
Frühlingstraum, Dreaming of Spring.
Ah, from Winterreise. Oh, that's
wait, wait
That's
a minute,
right.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Winterizer, that's winter. That
Yeah.
wouldn't do. It's spring we're doing.
It might be a cold winter's landscape, but he's dreaming of spring flowers in May, and daffodils.
Sorry,
and-
May. We're in April. It's in April. We can't have
What
something
does
in
it
May.
matter? April, May.
Well,
It's spring,
I think it
and
does
it's a
matter.
fantastic song.
Yes, all right.
Well, Francis, he is right. It is a lovely song. It's a song full of dreams of spring flowers and green meadows and birdsong. There are loud crows that come and wake him up. And then back to winter, he sees someone painted leaves on his window. He goes back to sleep, then dreams of the one he loves. The crows come back and wake him again. However, he dreams of the leaves on the windows turning a spring-like green, and then he hopes to hold his loved one in his arms again.
Yes, all right. Yes, come on then, Gwion, let's hear it. I mean, it's just another love song, not really about the flowers of spring at all.
Oh, but spring and love, it's all the same thing.
Right. No romantics, that's your problem.
Ich träumte von bunten Blumen, so wie sie wohl blühen im Mai. Ich träumte von grünen Wiesen, von lustigem Vogelgeschrei, von lustigem Vogelgeschrei. Und als die Hähne krähten, da ward mein Auge wach. Da war es kalt und finster, es schrien die Raben vom Dach. Da war es kalt und finster, es schrien die Raben vom Dach. Doch an den Fensterscheiben, wer malte die Blätter träumte von Lieb und Liebe, von einer schönen Maid, von Herzen und von Küssen, von Wonne und Seligkeit, von Wonne und Seligkeit. Und als die Hähne krähten, da ward mein Herz wach. Nun sitz ich hier alleine und denke dem Traume nach. Nun sitz ich hier alleine und denke dem Traume nach. Die Augen schließ ich wieder, noch schlägt das Herz so warm. Die Augen schließ ich wieder, noch schlägt das Herz so warm. Wann grünt ihr Blätter am Fenster? Wann halt ich mein Liebchen im Arm? Wann halt ich mein Liebchen im Arm?
Gorgeous.
They are wonderful songs, you know. But they're not really about spring, are they? They're more. That's love
But
poetry.
didn't Robert Browning, he wrote a passionate poem, a love poem to Eliza.
Oh yeah. Well, yes. I mean, she was obviously not in love with him. He was very much in love with her, and
Wow.
but a bit too young for her. I think that's the reason. But anyway, she loved his poetry and helped him and everything. But he loved her music. You know, I was just thinking that he wrote to her just a year before she died and told her that he had entire admiration for her music and that he set it apart from all other English music. And well, indeed, not only that, but he thought that it was the music we'd all been waiting for.
Well, let's not wait any longer. Let's go and find out what's here. Songs of spring and what else?
Well, Eliza's music is should be all around us, but it's locked away in boxes up in the library.
In boxes?
Yes.
Then let's go and open them and
Okay.
find songs of spring.
Yes.
Rose, rose, open thy leaves. Spring is whispering love to thee.
Rose, rose, open thy leaves. Near is the nightingale on the tree. Open thy leaves. Open thy leaves and fill with sweet, sweet breath. With sweet breath the ripening leaves. With sweet, sweet breath. Open thy leaves. Open thy leaves.
Lily, Lily, awake, awake. The fairy wanteth a flowery bowl.
Lily, Lily, awake, awake, and set thy sweet laden bark afloat.
Lily, awake, awake.
Lily, awake, awake, and cover with leaves,
The lake, the sleeping lake, the sleeping lake. Lily, awake. Flowers, come forth, this spring. Stars of the woods, the hills and dales, fair valleys
early lilies, come forth and ring from your green turrets your silvery bells. Flowers come forth, flowers come forth, flowers come forth, flowers come forth, 'tis spring, flowers come forth, flowers come forth, 'tis spring, come forth, flowers, 'tis spring, come forth, 'tis spring.
Yes. Now that is a love song for spring flowers, if ever I've heard one. Ha. And by a flower too. Eliza flower. Oh, it says here, she was emphatically a child of nature, open and transparent as the day. Perhaps she wasn't inclined to write songs for lovers. Maybe she was unlucky in love. I wonder if this very grand portrait that's between Sarah and Eliza here, does it hold any answers? Who is it, I wonder?
Muddy banks and by young brunny breeze, on the night of our Lomond, where me and my true love shall never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, sorry, Gwen. It's just that because they all went there, you see, together.
What? Where?
Well, Loch Lomond, of course.
Oh, sorry, yes, of course.
Well, big Sarah, the other one on the end. Well, she climbed Ben Lomond faster than any woman had done before. It was quite an achievement, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Francis?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just picking up my stuff. Hang on.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Are you?
I've got some books. I've got my books. Oh, hang on. This portrait here.
Yeah.
Is your national poet, Rabbie Burns?
Oh,
Is it?
Rabbie. Well, the two sisters loved his poetry, but it's not Rabbie. No.
Oh.
This is the Reverend William Fox, who was the guardian, and they all worked together at the Unitarian Chapel, which was the forerunner to Conway Hall. It was just around the corner in Finsbury Square, but it's not there now. It's crumbled away a long time ago.
Well, was she in love with the Reverend Fox?
Were they both in love with him?
Ooh. Well, it's not that sort of story, Sam. I mean, as far as I know, Sarah only wrote to him about the doubts of her faith, and Eliza, well, we don't really have letters of hers, really, so we don't know how she felt, but we do know how she lived.
Look, here's another spring song. Perhaps this one will be a love song. Sam, what do you think?
Well, let's have a look. Okay. I don't know, Gwion. It says here that it's a set of free trade songs, one for each season by Sarah and Eliza. It says here it was written for the League Bazaar in 1845, and 1 shilling each.
Hey, that's a big deal, isn't it, for that, for those times?
That's
1
pretty
shilling?
Yeah.
Blimey. Especially if you're a bring and buy sale.
Oh, gosh. No. It wasn't really a bring and buy sale. It was a bit more grand. It happened at the Royal Opera House. They were raising money for the Anti-Corn Law League.
The anti-corn laws, the heavy import taxes that they were putting on corn and grain, that just seemed to benefit the wealthy, and the poor just sort of starved.
Now that's a familiar story.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? You think that spring brings hope for everyone, but actually, for lots of people, it's a bit almost depressing, isn't it? You sow something the previous year, and then the next year, the wealthy come along and reap the benefits.
Yeah. Nonetheless, this spring song is about spring and the descent of the lark.
Hark, the whistle at the plough. Hark, the sower singing high above the weary brow. Hark, the lark is ringing. Sunshine promises in showers. Golden rain of hope she pours, of dewy nights to summer days. Mellow ripening autumn rays. Ploughman, sower, cheerily work on. Lo, for the heaven smiles come all the while as the sweet air free. Lo, the lark has dropped to earth where the corn is springing. Sudden silence to a mirth, saddened heart thought bringing. Clouded hopes descend in rain, for heaven's blessing turned to bane. Sickly night and struggling days, starving all that toil repays. Ploughman, sower, wearily work on. Lo, for the man's hand is o'er the land. A curse till corn be free.
The seasons passed, and as winter drew to a close, the promise of spring returned.
Frosty earth and icy chain, knee-deep snow. No day can hide away the hope that lives below. All the while we'll never forget, springtime is coming yet, is coming yet, is coming yet. Springtime is coming yet,
Is coming yet, is coming yet. Springtime is coming yet.
Stony heart and stubborn hand, vain all now. Day by day, hope's brightening rays bids budding promise grow. Onward all and never forget, free corn is coming yet, is coming yet, is coming yet. Free corn is coming yet,
Is coming yet, is coming yet. Free corn is coming yet. Goodness, that is optimistic, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know about you, Gwion, but
Yeah, as you say, such optimism. But I'm afraid it's going to take another year at least for Mr. Peel to sort out the corn laws.
yes. Well, it was another year in which Eliza's health and her relationship with the Reverend declined.
Clever though,
What?
women writing their songs
Yeah.
and taking them back to their menfolk and performing them.
Hmm.
It's like radical policy masquerading as after dinner entertainment.
And it was the ladies who bought and sold things. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, their own work, usually like needlework and stuff like that, at exorbitant prices.
Shilling for a song. I can't get over that.
You could pick up a song for a halfpenny on the street, but you know, these songs were just as powerful as the political speeches that were made there.
And these would have been quite a draw, wouldn't they?
Oh, yes. As well as all the modern technology they were showing and all the music and dancing. I mean, there was a lot going on.
It must have been quite an event for
Yeah.
all those people, thousands of people, to get into one place and answer the call of freedom. Can you imagine that song blasted out by 100,000 people all in one place? It says here that it did happen once.
I'm sure. I don't think it was written for the bazaar, though, in 1845. I was just reading this bit here, and I think it was for 1832, and the words were written by Harriet Martineau.
Ah, Harriet Martineau. Now that name rings a bell.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, here it is. The journalist, author and prominent intellectual Harriet Martineau formed a songwriting partnership with the composer Eliza Flower. Their protest songs proved very popular.
I mean, there would have been a lot to protest about with the Industrial Revolution in overdrive.
Yeah. Factory conditions.
Yeah, child labour.
The plight of the poor and the homeless.
I mean, reading this, it seems that Miss Martineau was a leading campaigner for women's rights, so their education and suffrage.
Yeah, abolition of slavery.
Yeah, well, they were both passionate about those causes, particularly, you know, for suffrage for all working people, men as well as women. But it's a shame, you know, their friendship, it didn't last that long.
Oh, really?
Well, the thing is, the Reverend Fox left his wife and set up home with Miss Flower. Yes.
You're joking.
Really?
Yeah. And he took his children away from their mother and
Why?
gave them into Eliza's care.
Oh my. Oh wow, that must have taken a lot of courage for
Yeah, it
Eliza
did.
to agree to that arrangement.
Really
Oof.
brave.
She
Yeah, absolutely did.
must have really loved him, hey?
Yes,
Gosh.
I think she probably did.
So I presume that Miss Martineau did not approve.
No. And neither did much of the congregation at South Place Chapel. I mean, I was just looking at his letters here. Yeah, have a look, Sam. So he's trying to keep his job.
Ah.
The monthly repository, their magazine,
Oh, yeah.
suggests that Fox and Flower worked together well for years before this, seemingly as equals.
Well, it says here that he kept his position, though he resigned from the Unitarian movement.
Yeah. So he
surprised.
kept his position at the chapel, but this was when they
Yeah.
started to move forward with their radical program, you know, into the speeches that they were writing together and the church services and the magazines, all that kind of thing.
And more protest songs.
Oh, yes. Oh, thanks, Gwion. Yes. Oh, look, this one digs back into history and compares the struggles of the workers to those of the barons who won their rights, you know, with the Magna Carta. I think that's what it was, wasn't it? When was that exactly? Is anyone know?
1215, yeah?
Ah, there you go.
Ah, yeah, 1215. And also to the House of Commons, overthrowing a certain King Charles.
Oh, hang on. Not the current King Charles, surely. Must be Charles I in the 1600s, I hope.
Let's see. The barons bold on Runnymede by union won their charter. True men were they, prepared to bleed, but not their rights to barter. And this war, that England's laws were above a tyrant's word. And they proved that freedom's cause was above a tyrant's sword. Then honour we the memory of those barons bold united, and like the band join hand in hand, our wrongs shall soon be righted. The Commons brave in Charles's time by union made the crown fall, and showed the world that royal crime should lead to royal downfall. And they swore that rights and laws were above a monarch's word. And they raised the nation's cause above the monarch's sword. Then honour we the memory of those Commons brave united, and like the band join hand in hand, our wrongs shall soon be righted. The people brave from court and peers by union won reforms, sirs, and union safe the nation steers through sunshine and through storms, sirs. And we swear that equal laws shall prevail o'er lordlings' words, and can prove that freedom's cause is too strong for hirelings' swords. Then honour we the victory of the people brave united, when all our bands join hearts and hands, our wrongs shall soon be righted. Their wrongs weren't righted, as we know.
Politics takes time.
Power is hard to reach.
Poverty grinds people down.
But Fox and Flower ploughed on.
They did. Now, I saw, here, I found a first edition of their first volume of the 150 hymns and anthems that they produced for South Place Chapel in 1841. It's a lovely, it's an original little book, and inside there's a list of poets.
Yes, I know. It's an extraordinary mix of poetry. Much of it was less pious than secular, more radical than religious, let's say. You know, here's a composer creating weekly music for the congregation, or audience, as you might call them, setting the poetry herself to her own tunes and borrowing some from her favourite composers. Like it says here, she worshipped Mozart. He appeared quite a bit, I think. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the poets Shakespeare, Milton, Burns, Byron. Mm-hmm. But if these had never existed, Eliza Flower would still have been Eliza Flower.
Oh, such lovely things written about her. There's a thing here I found that says South Place was at this time like other Unitarian chapels until Miss Flower, under the inspiration of Purcell, commenced a reformation in the musical part of the services, which rivaled the attraction to the chapel of its excellent minister.
Oh, I see. I wonder how you felt about that.
Yeah, not pleased.
I suppose when Eliza was planning these services and things, she would have had a lot of help from her sister Sarah, who was also a singer. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And who she also provided the poetry for much of this volume of hymns and anthems.
Yes, and both of them were important influences on Fox, leaders, if you like, of where the Unitarian lot were going. Rather, I mean the chapel, because they weren't Unitarian anymore.
You said that Sarah suffered a great deal of doubts about her faith. I wonder if this influenced all of that.
Yes. Well, this was the song that she wrote. Nearer, my God, to thee.
Famous hymn.
Important to them.
The way appear
came so naturally to her. It would probably have been beyond her means to procure a professional training. We must think with astonishment of this young girl claiming a place at the head of English female composers in her own day.
But you know, this prowess didn't stop her writing these simple tunes for the protesters in the street. I mean, this Day Labourer song, for example, is a lovely tune. And it was Fox who provided the text for this in 1845. It's a plea to the landlord to get rid of the middleman who takes his cut of their pay so that the workers can buy their own food rather than having to beg.
My only claim is this, with labour stiff and stark, by lawful turn my bread to earn between the light and dark. My daily bread and nightly bed, my bread and cheese and beer, fall from the hand that holds the land, and none from the overseer.
But all from the hand that holds the land, and none from the overseer.
No parish money, no parish loaf, no pauper badge for me. I'm a son of the soil by rightful toil, entitled to my fee. No alms I ask, give me my task for will or arm or leg. I'm strong, I'm bold, and to this I'll hold, to work and not to beg.
We're strong, we're bold, and to this we'll hold, to work and not to beg.
Oh, that was great. I think that, you know, it's one of those songs, isn't it? It just grabs you. I mean, the rights of labourers was very high up on their list of, you know, things that they wanted to work on, those causes. But by this time, Fox and Flower had begun, well, falling out.
Oh.
Though I think what you're reading there, Sam, that shows you that she continued to nurture his children.
Yeah. She was obviously very devoted. It says here, she devoted herself especially to the afflicted son Florence, a deaf mute, with so much success that he was enabled to obtain a place in government service and to hold it until retirement at the normal age.
Wow.
Eliza Flower was a most exceptional person, faultless as both foster mother and secretary, while continuing to compose music.
Come on, secretary? I don't think she was a secretary. I mean, no wonder they fell out. You know, it all began when they were at that, you know, when they were in their country cottages. Do you remember? And then they moved into London, and they moved because he wanted to be near his work at the Unitarian Chapel, at South Place Chapel. I keep saying Unitarian, but they weren't by then, were they? It was
not by
South
then.
Place Chapel. But, you know, unfortunately, her health deteriorated rapidly in the smog. And despite the fact that she went back and forward to the countryside to try and get well, I'm afraid it wasn't long before she died of TB, unfortunately.
Oh, goodness, that's just so sad. Hey, you know, her friend, the poet Letitia Elizabeth Landon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she died tragically young as well, and her life was marred in scandal. Gosh, their lives were quite similar in some ways.
Yeah.
I mention her because Eliza set one of her poems for a tribute when Letitia died. So perhaps we could use this as a tribute to Eliza as well.
Oh, I think that's a great idea, Sam. Yeah, let's definitely do. That's great.
Sleep, love awake thee, like a closed rosebud, to thy rest betake thee. Sleep, heart of mine, sleep, sleep. Wherefore art thou beating? Do dreams disturb thy slumbers? Vainest hopes repeating. Sleep, heart of mine, sleep thee without dreaming. Love the beguiler weareth such false seeming. Sleep, heart of mine, sleep, sleep. What if in thy slumbers breathe one sweet murmur of these charmed numbers? Waken, heart of mine, from such dangerous sleeping. Love's haunted visions ever end in weeping.
Oh, so sad. Beautiful.
Yeah, just gorgeous. Ah, you know, the Reverend Fox showed a great deal of grief at her memorial service, but thereafter, he completely ceased doing anything to promote her music. Nothing
What?
at all. Nothing at all.
Nothing. Oh God, that's awful. Like, because in comparison, just a few years later, Clara Schumann was making sure the world knew about her husband's music after his death. Goodness.
Well, you know, I'm pretty sure Sarah would have done that for Eliza, but unfortunately, they say Sarah pined away after her sister died. And, well, in fact, she died of the same disease just a couple of years later. So, yeah, so that was an option.
But I was reading here that the two sisters are buried together near their birthplace in Harlow, and it seems here that you can still see the inscription on their tombstone. It says here, "They were lovely and pleasant in their lives, and in their deaths they were not divided."
I just caught that. Lovely and pleasant in their lives.
Yeah.
That's not... In their deaths, they were not divided.
You don't like that?
It's not much of an accolade,
There's
is
not
it?
much of an accolade, is it?
No,
Lovely and
no.
pleasant. I prefer this one.
Oh,
I just
okay.
found this earlier from the South Place Repository.
Okay.
With their love and feeling for music and pictorial art and their high poetic thought, they were such women in their purity, intelligence, and high-souled enthusiasm as Shelley might have sung as fitted to redeem the world by their very presence.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is better.
Isn't it?
It's okay. You win.
Better.
Phew. You know, Eliza was known as Ariel as well, you know. I mean, and not surprisingly, if you listen to this description by one of the congregation, she was a bewildering, fascinating, elusive being, the presiding genius in all the social and musical activities of the chapel. Yeah.
A writer of hymns and anthems, protest and art songs.
I mean, sometimes all at the same time, I guess. Hey, did we look at this one? It's hymn number 139 from the Hymns and Anthems volume. It's by the Corn Law rhymer Ebenezer Elliott.
Oh yeah.
Yes, spring, summer, autumn, winter. The seasons again, isn't it? I suppose. And yeah.
I think this is part
Welcome
of the...
back to the seasons.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. We're back to the seasons.
Yeah.
But look at this poem. I mean, this is a warning, not just to them, but to us.
Spring, summer, autumn, winter, come Julias of old. Winds blow, sunset, and morning saith, ye hills, put on your gold. The song of Homer liveth, dead Solon is not dead. Thy splendid name, Pythagoras, o'er realms of suns is spread. But Babylon and Memphis are letters traced in dust. Read them as tyrants ponder well the might in which ye trust. They rose while o'er the depths of guilt their vain creators sounded. They fell because of fraud and force. Their cornerstones were founded. Truth, mercy, knowledge, justice are paths that ever stand. They build their temples in the soul and work with God's right hand.
Well,
Wow.
that's that then. I think we have everything we need for our spring concert.
No, one more hymn. How about an ode to a better England?
Oh yes, now we could really do with a prayer for England. I've got just the thing.
Excellent. We'd better pack up.
It'll be a birthday though, won't it? Soon in April, called the 19th
Oh,
of April.
Eliza's?
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, April. I always like you said, Gwion, earlier, a time for new beginnings, daffodils, and songs of spring.
Yeah.
And long past time to bring Eliza's music out into the night.
And fill Conway Hall with not just her spirit.
And then I get these back. Oh, and they'll give us a row if we don't put them away properly. Come on.
Who blesseth